Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So last time we completed our CFN 3 ka block 1, block 2, and today we have to do the block 3, right?
Yes.
सो टुडे वी हैव टू कंप्लीट द लास्ट ब्लॉक. तो हमें लास्ट के 3 यूनिट्स आज कंप्लीट करने हैं. सो मैंने आपको पिछली बार कुछ नोट्स भी दिए थे एंड आई टोल्ड कि मैं आपके साथ डेयरी फार्मिंग करूँगी. सो फर्स्टली आई एम गोइंग टू कंप्लीट द रिमेनिंग 3 यूनिट्स with you all, and then I would be explaining you in detail about the dairy farming techniques.
Okay, ma'am.
So, anything needs to be addressed or asked before we start? Yes?
Not really, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, I just start. Wait. So, today I'm going to start with the last block with you, block 3, in which I would be doing your protection of food supplies, food adulteration and precaution, and consumer education, which is the last unit, consumer education. Okay, so let's start with protection of food supplies first. This unit 8, we would be majorly focusing about the food laws and standards which are actually instituted by the government in order to prevent the adulteration and promote good quality food in our diet. So when we talk about food, actually there is so much of variety these days everywhere. आजकल हम देखते हैं कि हम सामान लेने चाहते हैं, घर का राशन, कितने सारे कंज्यूमर स्टोर्स खुल गए हैं, रिटेल स्टोर्स खुल गए हैं. एंड हम उसमें कंपटीशन की बात देखें तो कितनी ज़्यादा ब्रांड्स के चीज़ें और एक ही वैरायटी की कितनी सारी चीज़ें अवेलेबल है. अगर हमें एक सिंपल एक बिस्किट ही लेना है तो बिस्किट का भी उन्होंने कितना वेरिएंट निकाल दिया है कि कुछ डाइजेस्टिव कैटेगरी में है, कुछ लो सॉल्ट है, कोई बेक्ड हैं, कुछ ग्लूटेन फ्री हैं. आई होप आई एम ऑडिबल टू एवरीवन.
Ma'am, you are audible, but are we reading the public distribution system?
We are reading Unit 8, Protection of Food Supplies. I have done earlier three blocks with you, block 1 and block 3. Block 2, sorry. I'm doing block 3 today. Any doubts? Why are you so confused? Please respond, everyone.
No doubt.
Okay. So under this unit, we would be doing about the protection, safety, and consumer education. So first unit is protection of food supplies. So in this unit, we are going to understand that availability and consumption of good quality food is very important, as the quantity of the food available is lot a number these days. So the danger of consuming bad quality food is also very well known. The consumption of these bad foods actually lead to lot many physiological disorders in our body. Many of the physical disorders we see in people are either direct or indirect, which could either be result in bad type of health. सो जब हम क्वालिटी प्रूवन चीज़ों को नहीं कंज्यूम करते हैं तो वो धीरे 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 करके हमारी बॉडी के इम्यून सिस्टम को अफेक्ट करती हैं हमारी, और धीरे धीरे हमारी बॉडी की तबीयत बिगड़ने लगती है। और आजकल तो नथिंग इज़ कॉन्क्रीट कि हमें हर एक चीज़ क्वालिटी प्रूवन दी जा रही है। देयर is being issue and concern that everything or majority of things these days are actually adulterated. ओके, सो इसी के लिए कंज्यूमरिज्म को इंक्रीज करना और लोगों में अवेयरनेस क्रिएट करना एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले होता है। सो हम देखते हैं कि कई तरीके की बैड ईटिंग एंड बैड कंजम्पशन की वजह से वी ऑफन ऑफन फेस अ इशू ऑफ द series of acute and chronic diseases like diarrhea, cholera, typhoid. And similarly, bad food causes stomach disorders, which could lead to be food poisoning. So we have to ensure that जो भी फूड हम खा रहे हैं it should be of utmost good quality. So सबसे पहले तो हमें देखना चाहिए कि हम किस जगह से खा रहे हैं, कहाँ से खा रहे हैं। वी शुड अवॉइड ईटिंग फ्रॉम रोड साइड एंड ऑब्वियसली ऐसे जगहों से तो बिल्कुल नहीं जाना। हाइजीन को मतलब बहुत ही निगलेक्ट किया जा रहा है। सो मेजरली ये जितने भी हॉकर्स होते हैं या स्ट्रीट स्टाइल ढाबाज होते हैं, they are the major source of unhygienic practices. So we should always be clear with the mind, whatever we have to eat, it should be clean and clear. और अगर हम कहीं से बाहर डाइन आउट करते हैं तो हमें ऑथेंटिसिटी से मेंटेन करके रेपुटेशन के हिसाब से ही अपने फूड को वहाँ से कंज्यूम करना चाहिए। So, firstly, for this awareness generation, it's very important that we know the sources of food spoilage. So, the source of food spoilage may lie in many places. Firstly, that to begin with, it may originate at producers level, where the producers may not use the requisite inputs like good quantity or quality plant material, good irrigation, clean cultivation. मतलब एक फार्मर लेवल पे उन्होंने बहुत ज़्यादा अगर फर्टिलाइजर्स, गंदा पानी एंड प्रॉपर मेथड्स अप्लाई नहीं करे हैं फार्मिंग में या एग्रीकल्चर में, डेफिनेटली वो दूसरे लेवल पे भी इंटरप्रेट होएगा। अगर एक्सेसिव यूज़ ऑफ यूरिया, नाइट्रोजन या केमिकल एंड फर्टिलाइजर्स या वीडीसाइड्स है तो वो डेफिनेटली हमारे फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स में आते हैं और हमारी हेल्थ पे डायरेक्टली डिटोरिएट करते हैं। एंड वी कुड सी दिस कंसर्न विद द अलार्मिंग रेट इंक्रीज ऑफ कैंसर्स and inflammatory diseases and other kind of ulcers and tumors in the urban areas. So, as a producer, harmful use of pesticides like DDT and coloring materials are very, very harmful. And the best example of such cases we see in our daily life. जो भी हम गुड क्वालिटी वेजिटेबल्स लेते हैं, मेजरली नहीं होता कि वो सारी ऑर्गेनिक होती है, जो इतनी फ्रेश और रेड और वेरी अपीलिंग लेती हैं, दिखती हैं वेजिटेबल्स, दे कुड बी माइट सम इंजेक्शन वेजिटेबल्स, जिनमें भर भर के इंजेक्शंस लगाए जाते हैं उनके कलर के लिए। जैसे थोड़ा एजम्पशन में आता है और सुनने में आता है कि वाटरमेलन में बहुत ज़्यादा रेड कलर इम्पोज किया जाता है, दैट इज़ वाई इट इज़ सो रेड इन कलर। So poor quality of food may also arise due to poor hygiene at all stages of food chain, and the food sold to the consumers may not be stored in a hygienic place. So the major crux is that कि हमें इन सब चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखना है और हमें मेजरली ऑर्गेनिक चीज़ों को खाने में प्रमोट करना है। दो ऑर्गेनिक चीज़ें बहुत महंगी होती हैं, लेकिन हमें सही पता होना चाहिए कि किस तरीके के फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स थोड़े ठीक होते हैं, और बहुत ज़्यादा हैवी या बहुत ज़्यादा क्लीन एंड क्लियर थिंग्स बड़ी आर्टिफिशियल होती हैं, तो हमें समझ आनी चाहिए कि किस तरीके के फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स को चूज़ करके अपने घर पे लाना चाहिए। देन हम जब राशन परचेजिंग के लिए जाते हैं, तो हमें सही ग्रेडिंग की नॉलेज भी होनी बड़ी ज़रूरी है। सो फूड स्टैंडर्ड्स के बारे में पता होना चाहिए कि वही फूड्स प्रोडक्ट्स को हमें ख़रीदना चाहिए जो ISI, FPO, एग मार्क, हैसप की स्पेसिफिकेशन के साथ लेबल्ड हैं एंड मार्क्ड हैं। So the procedure of ensuring availability of food articles to the consumer as per the specification of particular quality is known as the food standards. If the consumers buy the food articles as per the food standards said, he can sure maintain the quality by setting the food standards, and this is the way of ensuring availability of good quality commodities. So we should remember that any country, both consumers and sellers should abide by the laws of the land, and it should be obligatory on our part to obey the laws. And also जो भी ये laws बनाती हैं, the government should play the power in regulating these laws, and the standards of food articles should be abide by both consumers and buyers to ensure the compliance by all sections of the people. I hope you are referring to your study material.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
ओके, सो बेसिकली ये वाला जो यूनिट है आपका, ये फर्स्ट वाला है जो ब्लॉक 3 में हम पढ़ रहे हैं, ये बेसिकली सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स के ऊपर ही है कि स्टैंडर्ड्स को मेंटेन करना फूड सर्विस एस्टैब्लिशमेंट में कितना ज़रूरी है। सो ऐसे ही डिफरेंट ग्रेडिंग सिस्टम्स को इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया है। ग्रेडिंग ऑफ फूड ग्रेन्स कैसे होनी चाहिए, फ्री ग्रेडिंग ऑफ फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स कैसी होनी चाहिए। सो यूजली जब हम फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स की बात करते हैं, so fruits are often graded before they are offered for sale. So in the market you find that fruits of different grades are sold in different prices, and the grades may depend upon the size of the fruit, color, juice content, duration of storage before sale. So such grading is also seen in case of the vegetables, and the vegetables are graded on the basis of their size, ripeness, and freshness. Other vegetables like tomatoes, cucumber, pumpkin are also the commodities which are graded as per their standards, and they are sold as per their standard. जो अच्छी प्रीमियम क्वालिटी होती है वो हमेशा महंगी होती है, फिर मीडियम क्वालिटी आती है, और जो सबसे डिटोरिएटेड है वो सबसे सस्ती होती है और काफ़ी सस्ते दामों पे बिकती है। So then we have the food standards set by the government. The food standards which are set by the government and agencies are mostly for the processed foods, and the food items should always be looked for the food labels like egg mark, ISI. जब हम egg mark की बात करते हैं, egg mark is the code for quality which is given under agricultural marketing, and 150 ISI stands for the mark given by the Bureau of Indian Standards and FSI. सो ये जो एग मार्क और आईएसआई है, ये जो फूड लेबल्स है, इनका क्वेश्चन ज़रूर आता है, तो आपको इनके बारे में ज़रूर पता होना चाहिए, इसको किसने इशू किया और ये क्या है, ठीक है। सो हेंस व्हेन यू बाय द फूड आइटम्स कैरिंग वन ऑफ these standards, you should ensure quality of the product. So when we talk about egg mark, the commodities which are available with egg mark are the raw agricultural produce, एंड इसके अंदर हम 199 कमोडिटीज़ आती हैं, जिसके अंडर इन कमोडिटीज़ को स्टैंडर्डाइज किया जाता है, और ये बेसिक आइटम्स हैं लाइक आटा, सूजी एंड अदर माइनर फूड्स एंड एडिबल ऑयल्स विच इंक्लूड्स ग्राउंडनट, मस्टर्ड ऑयल, सनफ्लावर ऑयल, एक्सेट्रा. And we will also observe in the advertisement of these commodities, we see ये जो भी अच्छी ब्रांडेड A1 क्वालिटी के प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं, इनको हम एडवर्टाइज भी करते हैं थ्रू वेरियस चैनल्स ऑफ मीडिया लाइक न्यूज़पेपर, magazines, radio and television. And when we talk about the ISI mark on products is very useful to the consumers, as the food products covered under ISI certificate mark schemes are bakery, confectionery products, dairy and allied beverages and food additives. Then comes third major category of food standard, that is FSSAI. The full form of FSSAI is Food Safety and Standard Authority of India. It is the main regulation and principal body that governs and regulate the food industry in India. Every food business operator needs to register with FSSAI to sell its products in India. Since the same commodities are also available in the market without the quality code, you will not be sure whether the commodities are up to the standards you need or the standards they ought to be. Hence, buying the food articles as per the food standards set will help you in consuming the commodities of the required quality, thereby ensuring good health for your family. Then we have our food laws. Food laws are any laws, rule or regulation which regulates the sale and purchase of food, which is usually directed at protection of consumer and also lays down standard for production, storage, distribution and sale of food items which are used for producers and are used by the used and they're called as food laws. So these food laws may include legislation passed by the parliament, state legislatures, or directives which is issued by the government from time to time. Now, next we come to the enactment of laws concerning procurement and trading in food. The laws concerning the food items range from procurement and sale of the produce to their grades, quality, weights, and measure, sometimes even to the prices at which food items are sold. These food laws are usually enforced by the respective state governments, and all laws are aimed at protecting the interest of the consumer as well as the producer and also the middlemen like farmers. When we talk about the basic fact of these food laws, which arise from the fact that producers of food like farmers get a very low share out of the total price paid by the consumer for his product. So it has been the common experience in our country. So the middlemen in the channel of marketing of food articles exploit the farmers in one form or the other, and the farmers are always in a hurry to sell their produce immediately after it is harvested because of their commitments. It is also a fact that during the time of harvest, the price of commodities in the market will be very low because huge quantities of commodities are brought for sale. So many farmers sell their produce to merchants in the village itself. So all these factors जो mislead करते हैं और डाइवर्ट करते हैं which cause exploitation of farmers and इसकी वजह से ट्रेडर्स ज़्यादा बेनिफिट उठाते हैं एंड फार्मर्स लीस्ट बेनिफिट उठाते हैं. सो to overcome this pathetic situation, government had enacted laws to ensure that farmers sell their commodities in the regulated markets, and these markets produce all facilities to the farmers and the traders to trade the commodities. And the regulations also ensure that proper weights and measures are also used in trades. ये नहीं कि वो फेक weights और measures से exploit करें जिसमें farmers को less share मिले और traders को ज़्यादा profit हो. So इन सब discrepancies को address करने के लिए government ने ये laws बनाए हैं, and there are laws to govern the trade practices of the traders. So hoarding of food articles is a punishable offense under this law, and traders tend to hoard the commodities essential for consumption during the period of excess supply. So, by storing these commodities and not selling them, they create artificial scarcity in the market. This leads to an increase in the price of the commodities, and then the traders will release the commodities for sale and thereby make profits. Hence, there are laws which prohibit hoarding of food commodities, making such an activity a punishable offense. So, the Major Food Safety and Standard Act was enacted in 2006, and this was introduced in the Parliament by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries with the objective of ensuring safe food to the consumers. The bill was passed in 2006, and the main objectives of this Safety and Standard Act was shifting of emphasis from prevention of adulteration to a broader concept of food safety, single reference point for all matters relating to food safety and standard regulation, lay food standards based on science, transparency, and consultation, effectively regulating manufacture, storage, distribution, and sale of food, integrated response to strategic issues like novel genetically modified foods and for international trade, and also the shift from mere regulation regime to self-compliance through food safety, and also rationalize and strengthen existing enforcement mechanism. Provision for minor offense lapse and criminal action for serious violations, and pool infrastructure, manpower testing facilities for better standard fixation and enforcement through proper redeployment. And moreover to this act lays standards not only for specific food items but also for the maintenance of hygienic conditions in and around the manufacturing prices, assessment of management of risk factor to human health in a scientific manner so as to make the food safe for human consumption. So with this act, various standard protocols was laid in the entire country, and government played a major role to keep a track on vigilance on both the consumers, traders and buyers and even the producers, so that whatever food is circulating in the market and in the country, it should be quality proven. And क्योंकि जितना ज़्यादा ये डिस्क्रिपेंसीज होंगी उतनी ज़्यादा देयर वुड बी black marketing, bankruptcy, and so many of discriminations going in the bilateral way. So, ensuring the welfare of the people and to promote healthy eating and healthy behavior, this action was really stipulated by the government, and the salient features of the act coordinate and consolidate all the laws relating to food and establish the high grade quality safety and standard authority for India for laying down the best standards for articles of food and regulate their manufacturing, storage, distribution, sale, import, and also uh, whatever food is actually made available to the public or its citizen, it should ensure with safety and consideration for wholesomeness of for human consumption. I hope it is understood by everyone. Any doubts?
Ma'am.
तो इस यूनिट में ना आपको ये जो तीन फूड सेफ्टी स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, अगेन आई एम रिपीटिंग, एगमार्क, आईएसआई एंड फसाई, इन तीनों के बारे में अच्छे से पता होना चाहिए। आप इसमें नोट्स बना सकते हैं, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि यू शुड बी नोइंग कब एस्टैब्लिश किया, किसने किया, कौन सी डेट को हुआ और इनके सेलिएंट फीचर्स क्या थे। तो फिर सेलिएंट फीचर और ऑब्जेक्टिव्स आपको बहुत क्लियर होने चाहिए। And in this unit, we focused on the consumption of good quality food, which is very important, as the quality of food is consumed good, only then the health of the country, of the people of the country will be good. So poor food quality food creates lot of physiological disorders, and the quality of food may deteriorated either at the producer level or sellers level. प्रोड्यूसर लेवल पे फार्मर जब ध्यान नहीं देते हैं, वो सही तरीके के सीड्स, फर्टिलाइजर्स, इरिगेशन का पानी यूज़ अच्छे से नहीं करते हैं, तो वो पोल्यूशन लेवल दिखता ही है। और अगर हम सेलर लेवल की बात करें, जब वो डिस्क्रिपेंसीज खरीदते हैं, बल्क में चीज़ें लेते हैं और एकदम से टाइम टू टाइम ना बेचकर थोड़ा सा गैप देकर फिर बेचते हैं, ताकि स्कैरसिटी हो जाए चीज़ों की, और तब वो इन्फ्लेट कर दें अपने प्राइजेस, जिससे उनको ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट्स हो। सो ये कुछ चीज़ें हैं जो प्रोड्यूसर और सेलर लेवल पे इनकॉर्पोरेट करती हैं, और इन्हीं चीज़ों को ब्रिज करने के लिए फूड स्टैंडर्ड्स हेल्प टू ओवरकम द डेंजर ऑफ एडल्टरेटेड स्पॉइल्ड फूड. So grading is being incorporated, and grading helps in buying good quality food. The government enacts food laws which help the consumer in selecting and purchasing the quality food, and the producers are also protected from exploitation by the middlemen. So with this, our unit 8 is completed. Now I would be moving to unit 9, that is the food adulteration and precautions. After doing this, I will give you some breaks so that you can go through both the units. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So now I'm straight away moving to the unit 9, that is food adulteration and precaution. So in this unit, we will study about the adulteration of food done by the sellers to increase the weight and as a result make profit. So, in the present day of uncertainties, ensuring the safety of food is of utmost importance. So, the dangers of consuming food which is mixed with material which is not edible are very great and may lead to different types of stomach disorders, diseases, which may take a very serious turn. Hence, it is very important that you should safeguard yourself from the dangers, and स्क्रैपलर्स जो मर्चेंट्स होते हैं, बेसिकली कौन होते हैं, जो एक्चुअली चोरी चकारी करते हैं, दे डू स्मॉल डीड्स बाय adultering some things with the other, and they mix up food items with any unpalatable materials, and they do so with the intention of increasing the weight of the commodities sold, simply to earn money and profits from the commodities they sell. So when you buy such commodities at prices as quoted by the sellers, you should not only buy poor quality commodities, but also spend more money per unit of the actual commodity brought. So when you buy the food which is not seen as expected to be clean, or is shriveled or is not actually of the color it is of. So you should, start exposing, and you should know कि क्या करना. And rice nahi lene chahiye as they are coated with the chemicals. So we should always buy unpolished dal and rices. So we should take care of all these things. और स्पेसिफिकली हमें कोई भी चीज़ ओपन या लूज फॉर्म में कभी नहीं लेनी चाहिए. जब भी लें एक स्टैंडर्ड की शॉप से लें, और उसकी शेल्फ लाइफ को ज़रूर चेक करके लें, उसके न्यूट्रिएंट लेबलिंग के कॉन्टेक्ट्स को ज़रूर एक बार चेक करके लें. और कई बार क्या होता है कि बड़े टाइम से जब ये ऐसे शॉपकीपर्स मेंटेन करके रखते हैं स्टॉक अपना, तो उनके जो पीसेस है काफ़ी शेवर्ड और ब्रोकन होने शुरू हो जाते हैं, विच ग्रेट्स, और कईयों में तो स्मेल और फंगस भी आना शुरू हो जाता है. तो हमें इन सब चीज़ों को भी बड़े ध्यान में रख के, और जिस ब्रांड और लेबल का हम खाते हैं, हमें उसी ब्रांड और लेबल की चीज़ों को चूज़ करना चाहिए. अननोइंगली अनवांटेडली नए लेबल को हमें नहीं ट्राई करना चाहिए. Is it getting clear, everyone? I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we come to the concept of food adulteration and its dangers. Adulteration is the process of act of mixing some other commodities which are not fit for consumption or which are of poor quality. Adulteration also includes mixing of one quality of the commodity with the lower quality of the same commodity. For example, groundnut oil is present day selling at about rupees 78 per kg. Another edible oil, which is palm oil, is selling about 60 rupees per kg. So the shopkeeper now find it profitable to mix both these quantity of palm oil with groundnut oil and sell the mixture as groundnut oil. So it is difficult for you as a consumer to differentiate between groundnut oil or palm oil just by the sight. Hence, the seller can make huge profits by taking advantage of the consumer's ignorance. और ये बहुत बड़ा इशू है कि कई बार हमें नहीं पता लगता, क्या किसी को भी नहीं पता लग सकता कि नाम तो ये ग्राउंडनट ऑयल का है लेकिन इसमें पाम ऑयल भी मिक्स है. So it must be noted that definition of food adulteration takes into account not only the intentional addition or substitution or abstraction of substances which adversely affect the nature, substance, or quality of the food, but also the intentional addition of substances which adversely affect the nature, substance, or quality of the food.
Hello, you're not audible, ma'am.
मैम बीच में आपका आवाज चला जाता है, सो वी कांट हियर यू.
Hello, we can't hear you, ma'am.
We can't hear you, ma'am.
मेरे को मेरे को क्यों भेजना था? मैंने कहा था आपको भेज दो। मैंने कहा था लीला को भेज दो।
आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही है।
मैं कुछ और कर रही हूँ अभी। अब मैं देखने जा रही हूँ, आपने मुझे भेजा है तो कितने छूट गए थे। आइए, इतना गंदा आपको तो मिलता नहीं है ये वाला। नहीं मिलता है ऐसा वाला। ऐसा कहाँ मिला है? ऐसा दाग वही तो। मैं तो आपकी पिक्चर देखती हूँ, इस पे मुझे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा क्या दिखा रहा है। ये पिन क्यों दिखा रहा है? लगाया होगा कुछ नहीं। तो जो पिक्चर समझ ना आए वो थोड़ा ना भेजोगे। तो सिलाई टूटा हुआ है तो ये वाली पिक्चर मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा है, इसी पिक्चर में मत भेजो जो आपको समझ ना आए। मतलब मुझे भी समझ नहीं आ रही, आपको भी नहीं आ रही होंगी। इस पे क्या दिखाना चाह रहा है क्या पता। कोई पिक्चर में भेजो जो दिख रहा हो। इसमें ये दिखा रहा है, ये क्या दिखा रहा है? टूटा हुआ है
तन्वी जी आपका अनम्यूटेड है।
सॉरी।
मैडम है ही नहीं, लॉग आउट कर दिया मैडम ने।
हाँ, आज कुछ उनका नेटवर्क बराबर नहीं लग रहा है। अगेन एंड अगेन शी इज लूजिंग।
I hope I am audible to everyone.
Ma'am, we lost you. Like, I mean, more than 10-15 minutes, we
Yes.
couldn't hear you.
Yeah. Actually, there is lot of, network issues at my
हाँ
place because something is being digged or something like that. तो उन्होंने पता है पूरा वायर्स वगैरह सब कट करा हुआ है, तो कभी
हाँ
ऑन एंड ऑफ हो रहा है ऐसा।
ओके।
अच्छा, आपने कितना करा है अभी?
आप कहाँ पे थे?
मैंने न्यू यूनिट आपके साथ शुरू कर दिया।
न्यू यूनिट
हम्म। मैंने
एडल्ट्रेशन
ना,
आपने स्टार्ट किया था, फूड
हाँ
एडल्ट्रेशन एंड
हाँ,
इट्स डेंजर्स।
मैं दोबारा से अडल्ट्रेशन शुरू कर रही हूँ आपके साथ अभी।
ओके।
ठीक है। सो मैंने अडल्ट्रेशन का डेफिनेशन आपको बता दिया था और उसके डेंजर्स भी बता दिए थे। वहाँ तक क्लियर है? इज इट क्लियर?
मैम यू कैन रिपीट इट।
Okay. So I'm just repeating once again everything to you. So adulteration is the process of act or mixing the main commodity with some other commodity which are not fit for consumption or which are of poor quality. Adulteration also includes mixing of one quality of the commodity with the lower quality of the same commodity. For example, जब हम ग्राउंडनट ऑयल को मिक्स करते हैं पाम ऑयल से, तो हमें पता नहीं लगता कि उसमें पाम ऑयल भी है, तो द मेन इंग्रेडिएंट वुड बी ग्राउंडनट ऑयल विच इज़ अडल्ट्रेट विद द पाम ऑयल। और ऐसे कौन लोग करते हैं? जो ट्रेडर्स होते हैं या सेलर्स होते हैं, क्योंकि ग्राउंडनट ऑयल इज सोल्ड एट द प्राइस ऑफ 78 पर केजी एंड पाम ऑयल इज सोल्ड एट द प्राइस ऑफ ₹60 पर केजी। तो जब इन दोनों को मिक्स कर देते हैं, सो ये काफ़ी प्रॉफिटेबल वो हो जाता है, जिससे हम ग्राउंडनट के साथ पाम ऑयल को बेच के उसी हाई प्राइस पे बेच देते हैं, जिसमें चीज़ें कम लगती हैं और प्रॉफिट ज़्यादा निकल के आता है। सो definition of food adulteration takes into account, which means the intentional addition or substitution or abstraction of substances which adversely affect the nature, substance and quality of food, but also their incidental contamination during the period of growth, harvesting, storage and processing and transportation and distribution. So there are two methods of adulteration, either by adding or by deleting something, the main component. So now I would be discussing the methods of adulteration. I hope I am audible to everyone. Yes?
यस।
Yes.
Oh.
नाउ यू आर नॉट ऑडिबल।
Yes. Now I'm discussing methods of adulteration and its danger. Adulteration is actually very easily done with the same commodity which is sold in different grades. Adulteration of food items is done with some foreign matter which is very small in size and similar to that of the food items itself in color, shape, size, which is available. So the adulteration in food grains includes adulteration is done in different ways in the case of food grains. In the case of rice, small gravel, which are white or brownish in color, or mixed with some other quantities, mainly with an intention of increasing its weights. So कई बार adulteration हम देखते हैं कि जब चावल को हम थोड़े से वाइट पॉलिश सब्सटेंस के साथ मर्ज कर देते हैं, कई बार पपाया सीड्स को हम ब्लैक पेपर के साथ मर्ज कर देते हैं। सो एक असेंशियल मेन कमोडिटी होती है और उसकी लुकलाइक के साथ उसको मिक्स कर देते हैं, जिससे उनका वेट डबल हो जाता है, और जब वेट डबल हो जाता है तो ज़्यादा प्रॉफिट्स बनते हैं। सो देयर आर lot many ways in which various commodities are adulterated by various other unwanted or cheap stuff. So there may be the form that some dust particles of straw, mud cloths, seeds of unwanted plants are actually added to the main essential commodities. सो कई बार हम दाल्स को हंस के साथ एडल्ट्रेट करते हैं, और कई बार एक हार्मफुल दाल आती है जिसको हम बोलते हैं केसरी दाल, जो एक न्यूरोटॉक्सिन होता है, एंड इट इज़ अ वेरी चीप दाल विच इज़ मिक्सड विद द मेजर अदर सोर्सेज ऑफ दाल. So this is the kind of deeds done by the traders. So ये केसरी दाल इज अ मेजर इंग्रेडिएंट जो कि चना और अरहर की दाल के साथ मिक्स कर दिया जाता है. देन वी हैव ऑल्सो सीन एडल्ट्रेशन इन अदर कमोडिटीज. सो जब हम एडल्ट्रेशन की बात करते हैं, एडल्ट्रेशन हर चीज़ का होता है, चाहे वो दाल हो, चावल हो, ऑयल हो, इवन शुगर भी क्यों ना हो. और कई बार तो ऑयल्स का तो इतना ज़्यादा वो होता है दैट देसी घी इज़ बीइंग एडल्ट्रेटेड विद द क्वांटिटी ऑफ डालडा इन इट. And we see that there are high quality products, जैसे देसी घी होता है जो अच्छी क्वालिटी का अराउंड 600 to 800 kg का आता है, और वहीं अगर लो क्वालिटी का अगर हम दिखते हैं घी, तो उसको वो आपको 380-400 रुपये तक का भी मिल जाएगा बाय यूज़ ऑफ सम प्रोसेस्ड डालडा घी इन द देसी घी. सो ऐसी कई सारी चीज़ हैं, जैसे टी को हम एडल्ट्रेट करते हैं विद द यूज टी लीव्स. टर्मरिक पाउडर इज एडल्ट्रेटेड विद द मेटिनल येलो विच इज़ अ पॉइजनस कंपाउंड. कॉफ़ी पाउडर कैन बी एडल्ट्रेटेड विद द रोस्टेड टैमरिन सीड पाउडर. और ये आपको लिस्ट पता होनी चाहिए कि कौन सा प्रोडक्ट किसके साथ मतलब मिक्स किया जाता है. तो मैंने आपको मेजरली इसमें बताया है. So now I would be discussing some precautions against the adulteration. As you have learned earlier, you will not be that एडल्ट्रेशन बहुत ही कॉमन है, और कई बार तो इसको ढूंढना बड़ा ही डिफ़िकल्ट काम होता है कि कौन सा प्रोडक्ट कैसे एडल्ट्रेटेड है. लेकिन अगर आपको राइट नॉलेज हो, राइट अवेयरनेस हो, देन यू कैन रियली बी प्रोटेक्टिव अबाउट योर सेल्फ, एंड यू कैन गो विद द सेफ कंज्यूमरिज्म एंड इंटेलिजेंट बाइंग, कि हमें किस तरीके की चीज़ें कहाँ से करनी है, और उनको ख़रीदने से पहले हमें उनकी क्या स्पेसिफिकेशंस पता होनी चाहिए. आई होप आई एम ऑडिबल टू एवरीवन. Yes, I am audible.
Yes.
Okay. Now we talk about the packed foods. As far as possible, we should know कि हम packed foods में क्या ले रहे हैं, किस तरीके की commodities को ले रहे हैं और कितनी ले रहे हैं. सबसे पहले तो हमें उनकी शेल्फ लाइफ को चेक करना चाहिए, खासकर जब भी हम पैक्ड फूड ले रहे हैं. यूजली पैक्ड फूड की शेल्फ लाइफ 1 month से 6 months तक की होती है, तो हमें पता होना चाहिए कि इसकी शेल्फ लाइफ कितने तक है, और हम उसकी क्लोजिंग डेट के अराउंड कितना उसको ले रहे हैं, और वो कितना फिट है कंजम्पशन के लिए. सो we should also go with the buying from cooperatives. So cooperative consumers federation have developed a very well in almost all states. ये जो जितने भी cooperatives हैं, जैसे सुपर बाज़ार, अपना बाज़ार, जनता बाज़ार, these consumer stores buy the commodities in bulk from the wholesale market, clean them, pack them and sell them to consumer through their retail outlets. So there is little scope of adulteration, क्योंकि ये सारे government approved होते हैं. So any benefit derived from out of the transactions done will be passed on to the consumer itself. So हमें basically government outlet से ही ज़्यादा purchase करना चाहिए, और जहाँ से भी हम परचेज़ कर रहे हैं हमें रिलायबिलिटी फैक्टर ज़रूर लेना चाहिए. यानी कि हर टाइम जब भी हम अपने घर के लिए सामान ले रहे हैं हमेशा शॉप्स बदल के ले रहे हैं, वो हमें बिल्कुल नहीं करनी चाहिए. So we should always buy with the familiar shop. as it is better to buy the commodities from the shop which are quite familiar with the shopkeeper and the consumer, because जब हम उनके रेगुलर बायर बनते हैं तो उनको भी रहता है जो मेरा रेगुलर फ्लो ऑफ बिजनेस है उनके साथ मेरे को ऑथेंटिसिटी मेंटेन करके रखनी है एंड क्वालिटी प्रोडक्ट्स डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने हैं. So this was all about in this unit. We learned about the food adulteration, right? सो आई वॉन्ट टू गिव यू सम टाइम. आप ये दोनों चैप्टर्स को यूनिट्स हमने करे हैं, आप इसको आज अच्छे से रीड करो. ओके एंड कोई टर्म और टर्मिनोलॉजी अगर नहीं समझ आए तो यू शुड गेट बैक टू मी. ओके we connect after 10 to 15 minutes now. Is it fine, everyone?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The class is not ended. I have to just start with one more unit with you all. I've just given you some time for the reading. I've just discussed 2 units with you of block 3, unit 9 and unit 10. Sorry, unit 8 and unit 9. Unit 10 I'm going to do. Is that clear, everyone? And those who have joined late, please write your name and enrollment number in the chat box. We are on the third book, block 3, Protection, Safety and Consumer Education, in which I started with unit 8, Protection of Food Supplies. And then I discussed the adulteration. Unit 9 is food adulterations and precautions, which I just discussed. Okay, everyone? Can we start, please?
Yes.
Okay. So anything needs to be addressed before I move with the last unit, Unit 10, Consumer Education. Okay. So last is the consumer education. So this unit is very important unit because it gives us the insights about the importance of consumer education, as all of us are consumers in one way or the other. In order to make the right use of our hard-earned money, we should know our rights and duties in the marketplace. So this unit gives us the information about the various agencies which protect the consumers from getting duped by sellers or the manufacturers, and also educate consumers regarding their basic rights. So when we talk in the present day scenario, when the consumers are being exploited by the sellers in one way or the other, it is important that for the consumer to be aware of their rights and their duties, and in their own interest, they should know that what they have to do in what circumstances, and when they are actually put into some unfavorable or disadvantaged situation, like what's the procedure and how to act, where to complain. So many times consumers have their bad luck, and they are being fooled on, or actually deprived of their basic things which they have paid off. So consumer education, firstly I will define its concept and the importance. So the consumer education means the right to acquire the knowledge and the skill to be an informed consumer throughout life. Consumer education aims to protect the consumer against exploitation, and this can only be achieved if the consumer is alert and is aware of his rights and responsibilities. Thus, the main concern of consumer education is to educate the people and create awareness through various agencies which will help them to protect themselves against the unfair trade practices. Ignorance of the responsibility exploitation, and to prevent this, it becomes necessary to educate and protect them so that they are vigilant against any wrongful act on part of the seller. So, educating the consumer helps in following ways. It develops the ability to decide and choose the product intelligently, demand safe, reliable, good quality products at a reasonable price, be alert against corruption practices in the market, take suitable action when faced with a problem. So this Consumer Act was came into application in the year 1986 and then amended in 2019. So one of the most important milestone in the consumer movement in the country has been enacted of the Consumer Protection Act 1986 to protect the interest of the consumer, and this act was actually amended in 1991, 2009, and the features, as we so call the salient features of the act, are all e-commerce transactions will be covered, offline or inline online transactions like tele-shopping, direct setting. The services provided, manufacturer has to compensate a consumer in case of any injury, loss due to defective goods or poor services. Central Consumer Protection Authority is the regulatory authority that may conduct inquiry into consumer laws violations, and this can prohibit, penalize manufacturers for misleading advertisements. So the following rights of the consumers are taken into consideration: right to safety, right to be informed, right to choose, right to be heard, right to seek redressal, and right to consumer education. The Act has also envisages an establishment of consumer dispute, also provision of alternate dispute resolution one channel, and enable the resolution of disputes among the authority agency or the consumer. So, various agencies are working to prevent the exploitation of consumer by creating awareness, education, and helping them to seek legal remedial actions against the unfair trade practices. So, for this, consumer protection organizations. A number of consumer protection organizations have sprung up in urban centers to protect the consumer from being exploited. These organizations, which function under names, take up the responsibility of bringing to the seller who deceived the consumer. Most of these organizations come into the picture only after the consumer is affected, and mass media. Print media has come to play a very important role in educating the consumers through newspaper, magazines, pamphlets, and in the 11th five-year plan, the government has given an increased thrust on consumer awareness activities through all possible media of communication. And the multimedia publicly campaign is Jaco Grahak Jaco, has become a household name. And आजकल तो we could see, cyber crime भी इतना ज़्यादा हो रहा है. तो government time to time in commodities और magazines के through या advertisement और through TV के through जगह जगह स्कैमिंग का, फूलिंग अराउंड का पोर्ट्रे करती है. एंड हर जगह, चाहे हमारे फ़ोन में स्कैम अलर्ट हर जगह आते हैं कि हमें अच्छी खासी अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए. हर जगह पूछा जाता है कि आजकल बैंक स्कैम्स एंड कमोडिटी स्कैम्स कितने ज़्यादा होते हैं, तो हमें कैसे उनसे बचना है एंड कैसे भी किसी के ट्रैप में नहीं फंसना है. Then there are also some extension agencies of government like Department of Health, Food, Agriculture, Social Welfare. They also educate the consumer from time to time on various aspects of food, and these agencies provide information through meetings, demonstrations, pamphlets, film shows, etc. And if by chance some consumer is being fooled around, then there are also some consumer disputes redressal agencies to provide cheap, speedy, simple redressal to consumer disputes. The following agencies are set up at each district, state and national level. And at present there are 604 district forums, 35 state commissions with apex body, and they serve as national consumer dispute redressal commissions. Then we have consumer protection councils, which are established at central, state and district level for the purpose of spreading the awareness, and the objectives of these councils is to promote and protect the rights of the consumers, such as right to be protected against goods and services which are hazardous to life and property, right to be informed about the quality, quantity, potency, purity and standards, right to be heard and to be assured that consumers' interests will receive due consideration at appropriate forum, right to choose from a variety of goods and services, right to acquire knowledge and skill to be an informed consumer, and also right to seek redressal against unfair destructive trade practices. Then we have the Consumer Welfare Fund, जिसको हम CWFP कहते हैं, which is operated under Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and the overall objective of this CWF is to provide the financial assistance to promote and protect the welfare of the consumer, strengthen the voluntary consumer movement in the country, particularly in the rural areas, and this schemes operates under consumer clubs. Under these schemes, consumer clubs are established in each middle, higher secondary schools, college affiliated to a government recognized boards and universities. Then they involve promoting involvement of research institutions, universities, college, and under this scheme, lot of sponsors, research and evaluation studies in the field of consumer welfare is also being sponsored by the Indian Institute of Public Administration. Then we also have a national consumer helpline number. This helpline number also create awareness among consumers regarding their rights, responsibility. They also help in providing telephonic as well as personal counseling to consumers, provide assistance for out-of-court settlement of consumer disputes. So these numbers are toll-free telephone lines covering the entire country, And lastly, we have the consumer voluntary agencies. These voluntary agencies play a major role in educating the consumer about their rights and responsibilities. And most of these agencies have capacity only to advise the consumers. The major drawback of these agencies is that they concentrate mostly on the consumer durables. Most of the food commodities like fruits and vegetables and coarse grains do not come under this purview. So, some voluntary consumer organization in India are कंज्यूमर गाइडिंग सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया, जिसको हम CGSI बोलते हैं, which was founded in 1966. Then we have Consumer Coordination Council (CCC), which was established in 1993. Then we have Consumer Education and Research Center, which is CERC. And then finally we have Consumer Online Foundation, which was launched to interlink and integrate content relating to consumer issues. It provides specific information of the activities, events, press release, and campaigns. And such information helps a consumer in understanding the role of policy and law in consumer awareness. So, with this unit, we understood about the importance of consumer education. The agencies asserting and educating the consumers are the consumer protection groups, mass media, extension, and other voluntary agencies. And lot of concerns जो भी होती है consumer related are actually bridged through these agencies. So with this unit we were completed the entire course. Now we will be left with tomorrow, in which मैं एक short revision रखूँगी CFN3 का, and I would be explaining you in detail about the dairy management tomorrow. So I just give you, we still have 10 minutes. I give you 5 minutes to go through this last unit, and एक बार आप पढ़ लो, and then we wind up the class after 5 minutes. Okay? Is it fine, everyone? Yes, am I audible? Am I audible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, anything needs to be addressed from last unit, unit 10, block 3, consumer education. So if nothing is to be addressed, we can wind up for today. Okay, we'll all meet tomorrow and do the entire revision once again. Okay, bye bye to all.